Welcome back to cryptogains for another video. I want to show you the Bitcoin price chart, show you what I see in the charts real quick. If it's sounding interesting, drop that like, give me a subscribe. Thank you for watching as well. Take a look at this. I've got Bitcoin on the, oh no, this is H-bar. Been checking out H-bar. Let me quickly grab a Bitcoin. I got Bitcoin on the weekly time frame with the counter channel. We're going to take a look at this. And then we're also going to take a look over here with the RSI and the stochastic RSI. This is not financial advice, you know, because people tend to buy it. As you can see over here real quick on the weekly time frame for Bitcoin, we're still holding support right back from here when we came down here. We want to kind of hold this support all throughout because then, you know, things can still remain bullish. If we break below this support here where I've got this white line, then it's likely Bitcoin may see some, you know, much further downside. Maybe seriously come down and test as low as this, 15,000, maybe even lower. Sounds crazy, I know, but I'll update you more as time goes on to help you understand why. Only because it's breaking key resistances, or essentially, you know, we've got like lower highs all the time. You can see here there's a lower high here, a lower high here. This would have been the lower high, and it's held it as support here, right? So if it breaks it, then, you know, it looks like the trend may reverse. So that's what I'm keeping my eye on. But as it stands, it's all looking okay at the minute. You can see here on the stochastic RSI, which is the bottom one, I've just flipped it to the top. It looks like we're curving round. So hopefully if we can see the stochastic RSI start to spin up and come back into this blue zone, then that will cause buy pressure, buy momentum will start to kick in and people will start to buy Bitcoin, thus causing a nice little rally for all of us in the future. And you can see here on this line here that I drew on the RSI, which for those that are new, RSI talks about, is the price overbought, is it oversold? But when it's right down here in these areas, you know, when it's falling down out of this blue zone, that's classed as oversold, right? And if it's right at the top, oh, come back on that. If it's right at the top, it's classed as overbought. So right now it looks like it's sort of midway. It's not overbought, not oversold, but it's holding this sort of area, right? And the reason I marked this white line is because you can see it held support back in the past. It held support around here, right back in June of 2021. You see, this is like full on good support and resistance right here that you can see it here. And even when we go right back to the last bear cycle, you can see right here, we held some significant support around this line here, right, before it had a massive capitulation drop. So people are expecting, you know, markets to come lower. We will see what happens. Let's just take a quick look at this with the counter channel. We are still underneath. And like I've said to you guys many times before with this counter channel, when we've broken this yellow line, which is the middle line, and we start to see candles underneath, usually prices tend to come down to this blue line and then pierce through it. And I've still got this marked as an example. So we saw the rally upwards that we broke here, which means at some point in the future, we were going to come down and test this blue line and pierce through it. So this was the weak spot. This was sort of like saying that, you know, the market has had a twist. You know, the trend isn't as strong anymore. There's too much sell pressure. We've been underneath it. Yeah, we had a second rally up, which was our double top, but essentially we came back down. Look at this. And then we pierced through this blue line right here. And it happens in many instances in the past as well. So here's another fine example in a bear cycle, right? You see price action have a massive rally. And when it pierces through this yellow line, we start to see candles underneath. It can't break above. It's just the resistance is too strong. It's like a wall, you know, ceiling. Not a wall, a ceiling. You can't break above it until eventually it, you know, pierces through this blue line, gives you the buy of an opportunity. And the same can work for when we're bullish. When we're in a bull market and things are parabolic and things are great, doesn't necessarily actually have to be parabolic, but just when things are on the uptrend, it tends to hold this yellow line. And in a bull cycle, I've never seen it break this yellow line, which is why I'm surprised that, you know, because it's bouncing off it, bouncing off it, bouncing off it, which is why I'm surprised right here when I feel like the bull cycle has kind of begun. Like we've seen the first stage, you know, that was the bottom. We've seen the first stages of a bull cycle. I'm kind of surprised that it's come below. So part of me feels like it needs to come down, test this blue line and pierce through it. And not just pierce through it, pierce about 30 to 40%, because every time it pierces through this blue line, we do see well, that's a 27% there, right? Anything from a 27 to 30, maybe 40%. So I'm going to keep my eye on this. If you guys want to keep your eye on it too, become a subscriber. Say Patreon, it's like a normal thing. It comes off my tongue so natural. Subscribe to the channel. I will keep you updated with this. You can see many weeks of candles underneath. Is Bitcoin going to come down right there, like down to here? Because if it does, this blue line, again, I'll keep you up to date. It's around $23,000. And if it does that, I'm going to expect it to pierce through. And if we do pierce about 27% or 30%, you know, that's a big drop. What's going to happen for something like that to happen? that'll take you right down to 17K. So might see just another double bottom. I don't know, like a triple bottom, because I thought that was the bottom, that was the second bottom. Who knows? Time will tell. Right now, I'm not fairly sure which way it's going to go. I can only show you what I see in the charts, right? And right now, the charts is, to be honest, in all fairness, it's not bearish because it's still holding this strong support here. Like I said, high, lower high, lower high. As long as we can remain above this price here, which is about 24,775. If we remain above that, then I think we'll be all right, as long as the price keeps, staying above, because it's holding strong support right back from way when. How far back does this go? Well, it just goes back from here, right back to August 2022. We resisted there, and you can see the supports right here. So guys, I'm going to leave it here. If this was helpful to you, please drop that like, give me a subscribe. Thank you for watching. I will keep you up to date on this one. And yeah, I look forward to seeing you in my next video. Cheers.